Child-free women are becoming a threat to the society because when a woman no longer chooses marriage, being a wife, or selfless motherhood as the purpose of her life, instead she's focusing on herself, putting herself first, you are becoming a threat to the very system that's oppressing you. Because patriarchy and capitalism has been benefiting so much from women's sacrifice, silence, and suffering. And all of a sudden, you're not playing their games. So who's gonna give birth to more cheap laborers to keep the rich richer? How dare you? And also, a child-free woman is going to put up with a lot less bullshit than women with kids does. Imagine this, you're a working mom, your boss treats you like shit, there ain't no much benefits for you, but you can't leave because you got babies to feed. Now compare that to child-free women. She can look in the manager's eyes and say F you and leave today because she ain't got nobody to take care of except for herself. A child-free woman is a woke woman and she's not controllable or governable, and they don't like that.
Don't ask me why I don't want to have kids, because you're not going to like the answer. My husband and I have been together for 14 years, and anytime someone who has kids or is considering kids asks us why we are child-free by choice, I tell them the same thing. You're not gonna like the answer. And the reason I say that is one, experience, and two, because the reasoning and set of factors behind our decision are objectively true. They really are just facts, but they're facts that people with children either had children in spite of or just didn't consider. And that's why to a lot of people it feels like a personal attack, which it is not. But for some reason, my reasoning and the hours and hours of discussion my husband and I have had over the years feels people like I'm telling them that they should have the same opinion that we do, which I'm not. You asked. And I think what I wish more people knew about child-free by choice people is that this decision isn't always from a selfish place. Sometimes this is a sacrifice for us too. And the hours and hours and years of intense in-depth discussion that goes into this decision just adds to the reason that some people feel attacked when I explain myself. But also, not wanting to have children is enough of an answer. The fact that, and this is a fact, it's not up for debate, that people with children don't get asked, well, why did you have kids? Even half the amount that my husband and I get asked, why don't you guys want kids, is reason enough for me to be armed with these answers, and why we've considered it so heavily for so many years. I'm 35 and we just finally came to the conclusion last year that this was our decision. But if you're a person with children, I'm not getting into this with you unless you really want to hurt your own feelings. Not because I aim to attack you or question you or make you validate the reason behind having children, but because most people have a hard time separating child-free people's reasonings from their own considerations or lack of considerations or experiences. And for the love of God, this is not me saying that you or anybody else shouldn't have children. I like kids and I know some amazing parents, some people that were absolutely meant to have children, my own sister being one of them. But before you go asking a couple who is child-free by choice why they chose that life, know that probably more than 90% of the time, the years of thought that they put into whether or not to have children probably far surpasses the thought put into most people having children. And I said most, not all.
Being child-free gives you choices. It gives you options. Because when you have no children behind you, you can choose to move out. You can walk away from that marriage. You can walk away from that relationship. You can tell the job to go fuck themselves because you have the choice to. Minding yourself and keeping yourself can be a very affordable proposition. But when you got kids and they have soccer, swimming, school supplies, daycare, babysitters, I mean, that forces you into situations that you might otherwise not be in. That might force you to stay in the job that you don't want to stay in because fuck, these kids gotta eat. When you are child-free by choice, you are harder to control. Because if a job says to me, you have to do this, that, and the other thing, and I don't want to do it, I'm like, okay, bye, see you. I don't need this. I'll find something else. But when you have kids, you cannot make those same choices. And this is not to dog on parents. Congratulations to you. I'm happy if you're happy. You like it, I love it. However, there are many people up and down this app who are living in less abundant situations because they have 2, 3, 4 kids. They lost their job, inflation, this, that, or the other thing. I often consider myself lucky to be marked as safe from pregnancy, motherhood, and parenthood because I have the ability to make any choice I want. If I want to go on vacation next week, I'm fucking going. If I want to spend $3,000 on a concert ticket, which I have, I'm fucking doing it. I don't have to think about anybody else. I'm thinking about me. Call me selfish. I take it as a compliment because God forbid a woman take care of herself. Being child-free gives you choice. And this is not to dog on the parents. If your kids are already here, you can't unring that bell. This is not for you. This content is for those women that are sitting there thinking, should I just get married? Should I just have the kid? I mean, everyone else is having kids. Don't do it unless you want to do it, because there are jobs that you can quit. You can quit any job you want, except for the job of mother. Once you become a mother, that is not a job that you can quit. You have to keep that. You can't unring that bell. You can't say, here's my pink slip, goodbye. So before you have a child, think about all of the choices that you are free to make, all of the choices that you have yet to make but you want to make, and ask yourself, does a kid fit into this?
I am in my mid-40s, single and child-free. I have seen a lot of comments on these videos from young women in their 20s and 30s who feel that they don't want children but are struggling hard with the decision given the pressure all around them. As someone who has lived this herself and feels that I'm now largely through the worst of it, I wanted to share my own personal experience. I can easily imagine what some of the comments on this post will say. I've heard it all before over many years, but if I can help just one woman struggling with this decision, then it will have been worth it. The world can be a hard and disappointing place to live in for a woman who doesn't want children. It often seems like babies and marriage are the only two things that are truly celebrated. There are showers and parties and endless excited discussions and planning. Other life achievements that can be more important to a woman who doesn't want children, such as career goals, and which bring her tremendous pride, do not generate anywhere near the same level of excitement and celebration, and despite the grueling hard work that achieving those goals can take. I have never really felt that I wanted children. I have also never really believed the whole, you can never know real love if you don't have a child, or your life doesn't have purpose without a child, and all the other scary things people say about how meaningless and unfulfilled your life will be without a child. But I, like many women in my position, have experienced moments of questioning myself, doubting myself, and being unsure given the pressure from those around me. I have siblings who have all got married and had babies, as have most of my friends. But my gut always came back to the feeling I did not want children. It can be very hard. You will experience years of comments and pressure that can make you doubt yourself and make you feel like you are doing something wrong or have somehow failed in life. There will be years of family and friends having babies around you. The biggest piece of advice I can offer, and this applies whether you're single or have a partner, is listen to yourself and trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, how you feel about wanting to have and raise children is all that matters. It will be you raising them for the rest of your life. Listen to yourself. Pay attention to how you feel in various moments. In the moments of your life where it is just you with your thoughts and your feelings, just you without all the noise of the outside world telling you what you should be doing, how do you feel about wanting children? What are you saying to yourself and thinking and feeling in these moments? Are you thinking about children or not? Because I can tell you what I was thinking and still do. When I'm lying in bed on a Saturday or Sunday morning relaxing, I have never thought to myself that I wish I had been woken up hours earlier to care for a child. During the week, I don't ever find myself thinking that I wish I had a morning routine that involved a child. When I come home from work to the quiet of my house, I don't wish that a child was there that I had to make dinner for, entertain, and care for that evening. When I'm sitting on my couch at night, there is never a moment where I wished I was going through a child's bedtime routine. There has never been a night where I wished I was awake with a crying baby. There was never a moment when I wished I was getting a child ready to take to their sports or activities. I never find myself thinking, I wish I had a child to care for in this moment. And I don't look at my friends with children and say to myself, I wish I had that. The reality is that it's often the opposite. I find myself thinking, I'm so glad that's not me. I make decisions and live my daily life without having to consider a child. Of course, there have been moments where I've thought a child in this exact moment might be nice. Christmas mornings, the first day of school. But every single one of those moments are fleeting. They are specific, isolated events and milestones. And when that special event passes, you have 364 more days in the year that are just regular, not special, real life days that you have a child to care for. The idea of seeing the joy on a child's face on Christmas morning for me has never outweighed the idea of having to care for that child all the other days of the year in my life. My siblings all have children. We all live far from one another, so when we do visit, it's for extended periods of time and we all stay together. I have experienced living weeks with my nieces and nephews and being fully immersed in their lives and daily routines. While I can tell you that I absolutely love my nieces and nephews more than words can describe, no part of these visits have made me wish that I had children of my own or regret my decision. I do like children. I love my nieces and nephews and am the cool auntie to many of my friends' children. Children gravitate to me and love being around me, and I'm actually very good with them. But children are exhausting. They are so much work. They always need or want something. Caring for them is all-consuming. They need to be fed, they need to be changed, they need to be soothed, they need to be watched and kept safe. And when they don't need anything, they want you to play with them and give them your undivided attention. I listen to my siblings talk about how they never get a break, how tired they are, and have seen their lives completely change because they are now living for their children above all else. Their lives are not their own anymore. No part of me wants that. Some of my siblings and friends' children are older now. They're no longer babies and toddlers and are in school. I have watched their lives go from being all consumed by a young child to being all consumed by children who now have interests and activities. Their lives revolve around a never-ending schedule of activities for their children. Weeknights are full of their activities. Weekends are full of their activities. Chauffeuring them from one activity to the next and juggling the schedules of multiple kids in different activities. I don't want to spend my evenings and weekends at my children's activities. I don't want to completely lose my freedom. It doesn't matter if you're a single woman or a woman with a partner. The advice is the same. Listen to yourself because having a child is a lifetime commitment that you cannot take back. For me, I am so happy that I listened to myself all those years because I am happy in my child-free life. I am fulfilled. I have purpose and I do not feel regret. I do not feel that I have missed out on anything. I do not look around and wish there was a child in my life. I do not look at others with children and wish I had that. And I do not worry about a future without children to take care of me or that I will die alone. And in the end, that is all that matters. Trust yourself.
One of the best decisions I've ever made for myself is to be child-free. And I don't care what anybody says or if they're gonna come at me in the comments saying I'm selfish and I only care about myself. Because people have kids for very selfish reasons. People will have kids to take care of them when they're older, to prove to their parents that they could be a better parent. I literally throw up thinking about that. Literally, my own mother told me, when I told her the shit she did to me growing up, she was like, just have your own kids and do a better job. Excuse me? Just like, so disgusting. And second of all, I don't need validation from a child. That I'm a good person, that I have worth, that I have purpose, because I can find all that within myself. When you look for that from a child, you will inevitably traumatize them, put them into a role they did not ask to be in, and essentially you're making a choice on behalf of someone else that didn't get a say in it, because you wanted to have joy and bring life into the world because it is so beautiful. What about all the other lives that already exist, the billions of them? But it has to come from you though, right? It has to be your own because you're fulfilling a reason within yourself. Anyways, on top of that, I spent a huge chunk, all my fucking childhood, being a therapist for my mom, for people around me, constantly, literally abandoning myself because I had to make other people happy. And I'm like, dude, I am not putting off my life anymore. Like, I am not gonna be living for someone else. I'm gonna be living for myself, and I'm gonna be living for the people that are already here and existing in the world that I love, that are my soul family. Like, those are the people that matter to me. I don't need to bring another person in here to be like, I don't have friends, so let me have a fucking kid because they'll love me unconditionally. No. Literally, one of the best decisions I could ever make. Literally one of the best decisions I could ever make. I am so happy with my decision every single day. When I have disposable income, I could do whatever the fuck I want. And I could just be free and explore life. And if I want to hang around kids, I will literally go hang around my friends that have kids. Or my family members that have kids. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, let me take your kid for like a couple hours and let me give it back to you. But it's such a beautiful life. It's so awesome. And for anybody that tells you like, you're gonna regret it, it's like, I'm not regretting it right now. I'm not gonna regret it later because I'm not gonna make someone else my guarantee as to why I need someone like to take care of me when I'm older. I'm gonna figure all that shit out on my own and not put that onto a brand new person that I decided to bring here because I wanted to.
Men have a profound understanding of the fact that the world does not care about them. Men understand that nobody is going to save them. And women can be very infantile of their thinking, and a lot of women create babies to create an artificial situation in which people can care about them. As a grown woman, you know the steps necessary to become pregnant. You know the steps necessary to also prevent a pregnancy. If you know that you don't want something to happen, you are willfully being ignorant when you are engaging the things that would allow that thing to happen that you don't want to happen, and avoiding the things that you need to do to prevent it from happening. You're willfully being ignorant. A lot of women decide to have children even though they don't want children as a cry for help. You see the economy. You see the world that we're living in that continues to get worse month by month, very quickly, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. You know the environment that your children are going to have to grow up in, and you know deep down that you don't want it for your goddamn self, let alone for a child. And you still choose to make a decision that you know that you actually don't want to be involved with. The reason why people like me make child-free content is because of the mothers. It's because of the mothers. Mothers are actually the ones that fuel women to make child-free content, because this is what y'all do. Y'all get on the internet and complain about the decisions that you made, and then you're crying that no one is here to save you. No one was ever here to save you. With a child or without a child, nobody was ever coming to save you. So to know that you don't want something and then you're going to choose to go through it anyway, when it sounds like you still have the option to go, you still can call up that place and make the appointment and do what you got to do. That's still an option on the table. You may have to travel. You may have to pay the money to get a plane, get on a plane and go, get the Uber, get a hotel. That's going to be a small fraction of the cost that you would have to pay to raise two children, pregnant with twins, 2 fucking children up until they're 18. And at this state, well past until they're 18, because we got plenty of millennials 30 plus that are living with their parents because the economy is so bad and the rent's so high. The willful ignorance from women is the reason why women over time lower their amount of empathy. It's also why a lot of women aren't having a village, because the world is showing you that you don't have a village, and you think that a baby is going to make everyone run to help you. Everyone is so concerned with their own survival. And you can see that everyone's concerned with their own survival, and yet you are still going to choose to make a decision that you know that you don't really want to make, because you think the man's going to step in. You think your friends and your family are going to step in. They're not coming here to save you. And a child is not going to change that. There are a ton of things that you can do to prevent this. You could refrain from doing the act. There are a ton of contraceptives that you can use. That if you ended up getting there and you found out, you know what, I have a situation, you can still go fix that situation. Women really are addicted to pretending that they have their hands tied just so that their fingers are free enough to point the finger. You didn't help me. You didn't need to put yourself in a predicament where you would have needed to have additional help that you already don't have. You already don't have the help prior to babies. Then you get mad as to why you don't have help after babies. Nobody's here to fucking save you. People don't look at you with your children and get excited. Only you get excited because it's your child. Women have got to learn how to be more responsible and put their emotions to the side and quit bringing innocent children into the world because you think that it's going to make someone get the urge to want to save you. No one is ever going to care that much. Prevent the problem from happening. Prevent the thing that could possibly happen that you don't want to happen. Prevent it from happening. And once you find out that it is happening, go do something about it. You got to save yourself before you got your hand out asking for people to come fucking save you. It's really that simple.
Didn't want kids and still didn't want kids.
Hi, here I am, never wanted kids, and now 55 years old, I don't regret my decision. There will be a lot of people who will tell you that you will regret your decision, but there are many of us, 50 plus, who never have kids, who are living our best lives. And before Angry McTrolls-a-lot gets into the comments, let me just predict some of the things that they're going to say. I'm good at this. No, I don't have a house full of cats. No, I'm not sad and hiding my sadness. No, I'm not depressed. No, I'm not on depression medicine. No, I did not have childhood trauma. Yes, I grew up in a loving home. Yes, I'm in a long-term relationship. No, I don't care about my legacy. Weird thing to care about. Yes, I want people to have children if they want children. Yes, I like children. No, I don't feel sad. No, I don't feel lonely. No, I don't feel empty. No, I don't care if I die on my deathbed alone. No, my parents don't think I've robbed them of grandchildren. No, I don't care about the decline in the population. No, I don't think you should feel sorry for me. And no, I don't care what you think. Was that 18? I got 18. There'll be more. Listen, you're gonna have a lot of loud voices coming at you on this topic, but the only voice that you should pay attention to is your own, and it should always be the loudest.
Y'all would never convince me that not having kids is not a flex. Y'all would never convince me that not having kids is not a flex. Okay? We see it. We see a lot of y'all poor decisions. Because a lot of y'all have kids that ain't got no business having kids. We see that. Okay? So I need y'all to stop. Being able to get up and go as you like is a flex. Being able to spend your money on what you want to spend it on is a flex. Being able to have your house be intact and do nice things without having to worry about stains all over and smell all over is a flex. Being able to have discernment to control your womb and not give it to any and everybody, and for the men, being able to have dick discipline and not just nutting up in everything with a pulse is a flex. Being able to plan your life out and execute it flawlessly without any disruption of 9 months is a flex. A lot of y'all poor decisions be beating the hell out of y'all nowadays. Y'all would never convince me that not having kids, especially if you chose to not have kids, that is a flex. If you operate with discipline, that is a flex.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, I have no kids. Girl, look at this figure. Hold up. I know you don't know too much about it, but like, let me tell you something. I don't even know how to talk to kids. Like, I'm telling you about a figure.
Imagine coming home from like a stressful day of work and there's someone in your fucking house who's like asking you questions like, what are we eating for dinner? Shut the fuck up.
I've escaped 80% of life's problems by not having children. So I did a video about this on my YouTube channel last year, and it was my most viewed video to date, where I talk about how the only thing that I have to worry about when I wake up in the morning is, do I want coffee or tea? And there's no legitimate reason under the sun for me to ever change that. A lot of people don't have a deep understanding that for many of us child-free women, the decision to be child-free really just comes from not wanting to make our lives harder than it has to be. Because it's like, why would I do that, right? I talked about how I don't have to worry about stuff. And then if I had kids, I would have to worry about a bunch of things, like overnight. If I, right now in my life, I no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck because I used to live like that a long time ago. And now I don't have to. Like,
I even have things on auto pay now, because we always joke about, you know, you made it if you got things on auto pay. Like, just take it out of this account. You know what I mean? I have stuff like literally coming out of this account on auto pay, like every week, every month, whatever. And so I literally would go right back to living paycheck to paycheck again and struggling again if I had children. And I have no intentions on doing that, and I don't understand why that's hard for people to get. It's almost like people want you to be miserable with them because they're miserable. Because it's like, what part of I'm comfortable and I don't want to change that do people not get? Like, and if you're pretending to not get it, I'm thinking it is because you're miserable and you're upset that other people won't be joining you in your misery. I never have to know what it's like to have a kid unalived in a school, pew-pewing, or to be bullied or harassed or unalived in any way, assaulted in any way. Like, I'm never going to have to experience that. I don't want to experience these things, you know? A lot of times you guys think that going through things builds character, and I'm like, maybe it does in some ways, depending on what it is and who it is. But I don't want to go through my kids being harmed and unalived to build my character. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through homelessness to build my character. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked hard for. I don't want to go back to living paycheck to paycheck to build my character. I would rather build my character by reading books, by learning about different cultures and learning about people and studying human psychology and studying plants and animals and whatever. You know what I mean? Studying the universe in which we live in, right? I would rather build my character by getting out and helping to volunteer at soup kitchens and stuff. Like, that is how I build my character. And I don't associate struggle with building character, especially if it's something that you can avoid. I am not about to get up every day and make my life a living hell just because people think that's what makes a real woman or that's what makes a real adult when you have all these 1,000,001 responsibilities. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'm also speaking for all the other child-free women out there, and even women who have kids but are like, I'm one and done. You know what I mean? Or I'm two and done, and that's it. Y'all got me effed up. So people have the right to live their lives how they want. But the reason why I say I escaped 80% of life's problems by not having kids is because most problems that women have in their lives tend to come from the stresses of parenthood or motherhood, and also from whatever spouse that they're living with or having to deal with, right? It is what it is. Those are the two, a man and some kids. Those are the two major stressors on a woman's life. Of course, you got money problems, and you have all these other things, the beauty standards and all that crap, right? But the main two things, kids and a man. And I am without both. And I plan on being without both forever. The kid thing is for sure not happening. Done, right? I can't wait till I hit menopause, or that way nature would make that decision for me. Then I got to worry about it no more. But the whole aspect of being in a relationship, like, there's like no benefit for me to do that. It's like no benefit. I see all the ways in which it can ruin my life. I see 0 ways where it can make my life better. So if I take away those two major problems that cause women the most strife in their lives, what strife do I really have to deal with now? Little stuff, like don't be late to work, or make sure my Amazon packages come on time. My Fashion Nova jeans need to be here before Friday because I plan on taking them on my trip. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things that I worry about every day, and I want to keep it that way. If you think it's selfish and self-absorbed or whatever, then that's too bad. But I plan on being selfish and self-absorbed until the day I die. Anybody who have a problem with that, that's exactly what it is. It's your problem. Scamper off and find a way to deal with it. And I'm out.
I just don't think at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life. I don't have the will.
Think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born there to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
This conversation is so stupid. Why do these guys get personally offended when a woman who has nothing to do with them doesn't want kids? That's insane to me. Ain't got shit to do with you, but you over here offended because she don't want to have kids. Shannon Sharp was acting like this too. That shit is weird. Telling women that their purpose on earth is to have babies is also fucking weird. Imagine telling your daughter this shit. You don't see the benefit in giving life. Life not even all that. Life is okay. Life is mid. It's people who have seen everything life has to offer, have traveled the world and ate all the food and did all the things and still kill themselves. Like life is all right. Most of us aren't having a good time. Don't put life on a pedestal like that, okay? Life is cool. Life is all right. Babies don't pop out happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing I want y'all to leave here with because I'm losing the light. So this is the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Any, and I repeat this, any reason why you don't want kids is a valid reason to not have kids. All of the reasons. There's not a single bad reason to not want kids. And if you don't want kids, do not have kids. Nobody should be trying to pressure you to have kids. It's not your responsibility to have kids. You don't owe anybody kids. If you do not explicitly want kids, do not have kids. And if people think you're selfish, so fucking what? That's even more of a reason to not have kids. Do they think selfish people should have kids? Exactly. I'm over it. Let people do what they want with their bodies. Stop. It's not your fucking call. It's their call. Get it together. Damn. I'm fucking sweating. I will see you in the next video.
Somebody pour me